Good evening, everybody. This is Rob coming to you, Christmas night, RP Games. Thought I'd give you the Christmas night fights, and as such, we are going to be playing a little bit of World of Tanks by special request. We seem to be starting out pretty well at the moment. Open up some boxes here and see if we can get a little more bonus. Good evening. I see a bunch of presents under my World of Tanks tree. Let's see what shards I have. That is a Tier 5 Pyrotechnic. I don't think I need a Tier 5 Pyrotechnic. No, all of my festive decorations are already Tier 5. As are... I could use anything at the meal. And a few things here at the tree. So let's break down some shards. Go to the coder, and we're going to go to the tree, garland, and make one Tier 5 garland. Now it's time to start mixing it up in some fights. I'm going to start off with my bonus vehicles tonight, getting a little bit of a holiday ops bonus. Nicely decorated for the occasion. Let's see what a random battle gives us tonight. Well, on the plus side, it's a map I'm familiar with. On the minus side, I am not a top tier vehicle, but I am not a bottom tier vehicle. So I expect to do okay in this. But it's all going to be the roll of the dice. My FPS is a little bit higher than normal, but my ping is all over the board tonight, so I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that the streaming gods will allow this to go on without a hitch. Hello again, Sir Groucho. Merry Christmas to you. definitely down one tank. Let's see if I can get some shots from the rear. Nope. Oh, there we go. I have some backup. I can handle the push on this side. Just barely catch a silhouette. And of course, he's shooting premium ammo.
Enemy is hit.
So it doesn't matter if I angle at him. He's just gonna go right through my armor.
We've lost the track. Get going. Let's go. We're dead for. Everyone get out.
Hey Doug, how's it going? Good to see you here tonight. Yes, I know your name is now Murmelnir, but that's a mouthful to say after a couple of beers, so I'm just going to go with Doug. I mean, heck, I have a hard time saying it when I'm sober. I hope both of you had an excellent Christmas today. At least the wait time for battles tonight isn't too bad. Now I am a bottom tier tank. Luckily I'm a tank destroyer, so my gun punches a little bit above my weight. Hopefully that'll be enough.
Your assistance has been requested. Platoon joined.
For those of you who aren't familiar with the game, what just happened was another player invited me to a platoon. And what that's going to do is, if we perform well individually, we get certain bonuses for having been in a platoon together. I hear you, Doug. We managed to have a decent day of it ourselves. Our family had a big breakfast, and then we just basically lounged around until this evening when we had a nice dinner and then opened a couple of presents. My daughter's been having a really heavy work schedule, so we've actually planned for a big meal on her next day off, which is not today.
We didn't even scratch them.
Well, we didn't even scratch them, but my gun did exactly what I wanted it to. Just chase him
Ricochet.
back behind the rock. I will take my time,
We didn't penetrate their armor.
and he will fire premium ammo at me because that's all people do nowadays. And because we have no support, I am backing off. Our brave heavy tank chose to not back all the way out of there. Now that I see that we got support from behind the two tanks, I know it's okay for me to advance. Well, I'm a World War II era Soviet tank, so that makes sense.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Good night, Sweet Pea. And no, I wasn't calling you Sweet Pea, Groucho. That was my granddaughter saying goodnight. That tank right there, the KV-2, is a Soviet-era heavy tank. It's the second variation of the heavy tank that they first used in Finland during the Winter War. I am commanding the SU-100 tank destroyer. My gun is just about up to par with the top tier tanks here. It's an 85mm, it's got a high velocity armor piercing shell, slightly lower velocity HE shell, but I won't be using HE. And I'm just slow enough that I probably will not get a shot on this IKE. Ouch, 15-5. I did really poorly, though. I will be surprised if I'm not the last on our team on that. Exactly, Groucho. Well, in fairness, if it wasn't for the Winter War, they would have lost the war at the German invasion, because they learned a lot of lessons in Finland. If they had waited until 1941 to learn those lessons, they never would have survived the German onslaught. At least I don't believe they would have. Fate's fickle. Caspa, ahoy! Merry Christmas to you. And let's see how far down the... oh, I got the Devils for experience. And I still did better than 4 other players. Holy cow. What were these guys doing? Four shots, 4 hits, only 1 pen. At least the non-pens were still hits. And I should have a Czechoslovakian tank that's blue. There we go. Russ! Happy holidays, sir. Glad to see you could make it. Yeah, it's been a busy night here on this World of Tanks server. It's nice to not have a long wait time. Of course, if I keep coming in at bottom tier, it's going to be a very, very rough night. Yeah, I'm going to support that other Skoda T25. Our T150 has 1,000 for ping. That's nice. What I'm currently doing is watching for movement. They have 3 artillery, so if any of their tanks spot us...
Enemy armor is hit.
They have a fair chance of focusing us. Okay, you might have noticed that after I got that critical hit, I had a couple of notifications pop up when other people shot the tank. If you're not familiar with the game, I get partial credit for the damage done because I incapacitated him long enough for them to shoot him. The Czechs did make some great tanks. Hey, Hawk. Merry Christmas. Having awful lag spikes. But somewhat to be expected with the heavy server load tonight, and this game is a lot more intensive to stream than something like Fallout, because I have to use bandwidth to both stream it and to play it. Where with Fallout, I could get away with only needing bandwidth to stream. At T-3485 has a hell of a gun.
Target acquired. Penetration. We've lost the track. They killed our driver. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Okay, as you can see there in my, next to my paper doll in the lower left corner, it's showing APCR in yellow. That means it's a premium armor-piercing round. They were already loaded to make sure they could punch through anybody they met. Now, I was lower tier than them, so they didn't need it, but they could have run into a higher tier vehicle where their gun would have been less effective, and they wanted to ensure they were getting some hits. Yeah, the underbelly is soft. I was trying to shoot for the lower glacis when I got killed. Head back to the garage and switch up the tank selection for a little while. Yeah, it is. The tanks in this game run from the interwar period all the way through, I want to say the end of the Korean War era, but might be some of them were early Vietnam War era. Nothing ultra modern, nothing with tow missiles or anything. But let me switch to premium tanks only. These are the ones that make you a lot of money. In-game money, of course. This one is based on the Panzer 1C. The Panzer 1C is a very fast, light German tank that has a machine gun. 20mm automatic rifle. This replaces that with a fixed gun placement for a PaK-38, which will mess up a person's day. The 50mm armor-piercing ammunition is more than enough for anything in its own tier, and most vehicles a tier above. And if things get a little bit... Oh, no Abrams, no T-72. You won't see the Chinese T-72 clone, but you will see what eventually became the Centurion and the Leopard 1, not the Leopard 2. But the Leopard 1 was actually finished in its development cycle by 1971, so it made it into this game. But one of the problems with some of those more modern tanks is they are very lightly armored. And the game does not give a really strong penalization for fast-moving tanks. So basically, if you can figure out how far ahead of the tank to aim, there's very little chance that you're going to miss it. And the Leopard is a paper tiger. No pun intended. But this is a little tank destroyer. Well, if I can get a silhouette to shoot at. There's not a tank in this match that I can't punch. You might have seen that little indicator pop up on my paper doll. That's telling me visually that I have put on basically the parking brake.
Target acquired.
Because this gun requires chassis alignment.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
My tank would move with the target. If I get locked on.
Enemy is hit. Got him.
And if you don't want it to do that, you lock your tracks. And then you have to use your driving keys. Take care, Dalton. You have a great night. Thanks for stopping in, sir. We still have a missing light tank on the right flank I'd like to draw people's attention to. One of those games that's a lot of fun when you're winning, and it can be a heartbreak when you're losing a lot. Clinton, good to see you, sir. Some of you are going to notice my in-game name is Von Trop, and there's a little word that says vets afterwards. That's because I am in a newly invited into a clan of people who have combat veteran status. And as I do well, or eventually do poorly long enough, my clan gets little bonuses for clan battles, so it's nice to be part of a club. I didn't do too badly there. I've done a lot worse, including in this stream, so there's a few tanks that I really enjoy playing in the premiums. The Super Hellcat. The Hellcat was a U.S. tank destroyer in World War II, and the Super Hellcat was an adaptation that made it effective even into the Korean War. Doug, those clans are... It pays dividends, especially if you want to... I'm not trying to platoon up with my clan tonight because I didn't know whether or not TeamSpeak would play havoc with the stream or not. Adding yet another bandwidth load would probably be an issue. But if you want to log on and do nothing but platoon battles or get into one of the clan war events, you can't beat having a group of guys who's going to have your back. Now, the Hellcat and the Super Hellcat are relatively fast vehicles. The Super Hellcat has a fast-moving turret to go with it. The regular Hellcat, the turret is very slow. Unfortunately, some walls you can shoot through, others you cannot. And where those enemy tanks are is a spot where you cannot shoot through. Well, that might be breakable right there. He is on the other side of an unbreakable wall. Okay. things are not looking good for the green team, guys. We're already down 0-4. Alright, that Leopard up there is not the 1970 era Leopard of the German, or the East German at the time, or West German at the time, fame. That is the VK 1602, never produced, paper-only prototype development platform for a fast scout tank.
Enemy vehicle destroyed. Enemy armor is destroyed. The radio is hit. We can't raise anyone outside this area. Track hit. We've lost the track. Target unlocked. We're done for. Everyone get out.
That was never going to end well. Would have been nice. Oh, no problem, Russ. It's a game that I love. Even when it's frustrating me, I enjoy it. And if the guys who are tuning into my stream want to see something and I can
One of our tracks is damaged.
provide it, why not?
We're immobilized.
It was not going to end well when we were down 0-4 and the entire flank I went to first collapsed. At least I got a few licks in before I got taken down. Clinton, it's a decent game. It's got the free-to-play model, so you log in and play with your free stuff all you want. There are a few codes floating around out there somewhere that can get you a little bit of bonus material, a little bit of in-game premium money, and some bonus tanks. But obviously, if you feel the urge to play on with slightly better vehicles and have access to like the in-game gold currency, they have a shop for buying the premium items. I tend not to. It's just my budget doesn't allow for it, but like right here we've got we're doing some missions, getting some bonuses from doing missions. Even in the loss we got something, right? Wow, he bounced nothing. Got a 3 non-pens and 60 damage. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. His gun's more annoying than the other guys who were shooting me, but I knew I could kill him if I could keep him in my sights. Team-wise, top 5 performance. That wasn't a surprise. Look at these guys down here. Not a point of damage between them. He spotted someone that took damage from the team. This guy didn't even do that. This guy didn't even do that. This guy didn't even do that. So all these guys, this guy here, at least he was spotting for damage. He was participating. But when a full third of your team doesn't perform, this guy performed. And he's their worst player. Yeah, everybody above him did significantly better in their performance. So when you're outnumbered basically 3-2, it shows. Now, one tank I do have that you guys can't get by signing up now, because this is a gift I was given for being a closed beta tester. This is the second model of Sherman that arrived in Europe, the M4A2E4, not the famous Easy 8 version, but a slightly up-armored and slightly faster firing main gun. Was a gift for the beta testers. If you look up here next to my name, you'll see that B that indicates that I was a beta tester. Yeah, Russ, I feel for you, man. If I couldn't get high-speed internet, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I really feel for you. After we run this round, I'm going to take a short break. So if you guys are holding off getting a drink or something, just remember in a few minutes you're going to get the opportunity to get up. Especially if I do poorly in the early stages. Depends on what tier the other tanks are. Not too bad. Being a tier 5 puts me in middle tier. We're in a standard battle on a map with lots of places to duck and weave. I think I'm going to go to the side I'm closer to. A little information about this game. It's over 10 years old. The early version of this game did not include active physics. So when you were playing, if you would normally fall and take damage from going over the edge of a cliff, they didn't have a rule for that, so you just couldn't drive over the cliff. bad was that lag?
Track hit. Critical hit. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Thanks, Groucho. Well, as you can see, when you hit a spot of lag, I happened to be turning when it happened. I had no idea where I was facing when I came out of that. But that OI is the Japanese super heavy tank. His main gun fires a high explosive shell normally. That is devastating. He was firing armor piercing, thankfully. But his front armor is so thick, most guns, even in his own tier, have a hard time getting through. Yeah, lag is what it is, though. These guys were very smart. They worked on the OI's support. So I can switch over to KV2 here, who is AFK.
Critical engine damage. We're stuck here.
I was wondering why he was sitting there unharmed. Let's see,
Engine is fixed, but it's not going to hold up its speed. The loader bought the farm.
where's this guy? Oh, he's driving around thinking he's indestructible, apparently. Valiant is another premium tank. I don't know why they consider it premium. It's slow. It's not super heavy armored. And its gun doesn't pack a specifically good punch.
Ammo storage is hit. We're lucky it didn't blow.
Alright, you guys just heard them say ammo storage is hit. If your ammo rack takes a hit, it adds time, about 50%, to your reload speed. So if your reload speed is 4 seconds, it becomes 6 seconds. Which, obviously, that can be a bad thing. Alright guys, I am going to take a quick break. Smoke them if you got them, refresh your drinks, get yourself a snack. I'll be back in approximately 5 minutes. I'm back early. Good night, Clinton. Welcome back, Doug. For those of you who aren't familiar with the game, I want to just go over a few things about the... I did fairly well on the team-wise, anyway. For a few things about the interface. Obviously, you've got your physical tank, and during the battle, you'll have your paper doll down here. You can use hit indicators to get the idea of where you're being shot from if you don't see the enemy tank, because if they're well hidden, you will not see them. Down here you have your different ammunition types, which you can purchase before the battle. I use majority standard armor piercing. I like to carry high explosive for both tanks that I have a hard time penetrating. It comes in handy. You can disable tracks, or you can aim for driver's hatch, commander's hatch, and do module damage even though you're not getting inside the vehicle. You could potentially hurt or kill a crew member. And then there's the Armor Piercing Composite Rigid, or APCR. This is the premium ammunition that shows up gold in your hit indicator. You'll see that it says it has 127 average penetration down to 97 at 500 meters. The normal penetration is 92 to 80, so even at maximum range, you're getting a bonus to pen. You'll also notice that the second group of 3 boxes here, I keep a small repair kit. This resets after 90 seconds after use. You hit the hotkey that it's assigned to, in this case 4, and repair 1 module. This small first aid kit in 5 will revive 1 crew member, and the fire extinguisher puts out fires. Yes, you can have your tank set ablaze by incoming fire. I could forego those for the large version of each. The large repair kit repairs all damaged modules. Large first aid kit takes care of all crew injuries. And the automatic fire extinguisher deploys on its own if you catch fire. I have a lot of these in the garage. I never use them, because I have discovered that if I have one of these on board, I frequently take enough damage in a final hit that a fire that just starts is going to kill me, because I had, maybe 20 hit points left. This thing will fire anyway, and I'll lose it. And we used to have to pay gold to get the large of these, so I never used them. So they're stockpiled compared to these, which you pay regular in-game credits for. As an American tank, I can take Coca-Cola to get a 10% bonus to all my crew skills. The final category of items that are down here on the tank. Hey, Slacker, good to see you. This is special equipment I can add to the tank. Each of them does different things. You'll notice on my tank destroyers, I frequently have binocular telescope and camouflage net, because they spend a lot of time hiding in bushes. I want them to stay hidden in those bushes. Light tanks might benefit from the low noise exhaust system, which will reduce their detectability range when they're moving. Additional grousers will make it easier for you to traverse soft terrain. The Spall liner, which I have on a couple of my light tanks, reduces the amount of damage you take from both ramming and high explosive shells. I noticed my VK1602 Leopard got hit with HE a lot, so I put it on that. You can improve your armor, but with improved hardening. This is a new item. I'm not familiar with it, but hey, they got to try and keep the game current, right? Okay, here we have a gun rammer. It reduces the reload time. Improved aiming means that reticle shrinks down to firing position a lot faster. Improved ventilation, plus 5 to all crew skills. Comes in handy because your reload speed is augmented by your crew skills. So if your loader is skilled, you can decrease your load skill by almost 50%. Improved rotation mechanism will increase both the traverse of the vehicle and the turret traverse. And then the enhanced gun laying drive gives you a plus 10% to aiming speed, and also it used to, I don't know if it still does, make it a little bit less deviation when you're firing on the move. Let's see. Oh, let me get to that. They craftily hid the German flag by giving the Iron Cross instead of the traditional Iron flag, or Nazi flag, because most of these tanks are Nazi tanks. This is my Leopard. I do not use the machine gun, I use the cannon. The 50mm cannon has decent penetration for its tier and decent damage, but more importantly, the reload time is fairly low. The machine gun, which is the other option, I think I have to go in here to change my armaments. It's magazine fed, so you get to load out 12 shells in a magazine, which is 4 bursts of 3. Then it takes 17.5 seconds to load a new magazine. I have to take 2.1/3 seconds to load a single shell into this one. I'm firing fewer bullets, but they do more damage, they penetrate better, and there's no big lag in. The Germans did make some good tanks. This one never actually existed, like I said. It was paper only. It was part of the program that they came up with. Let's see, down here is where I have the VK line, the 4502, the 1001, and the 4502B. These never existed. The E50. There's an E75, which I don't have. But this tank, the Indian Panzer, did not fight in World War II as a German vehicle, but was designed in World War II as a German vehicle. You can see it's got some similar lines to it to the Soviet tanks. This is a medium tank, but it's designed very much like a heavy Soviet tank. At the end of the war, the German industry that was still around sold this to India, hence the name Indian Panzer. Everybody's go-to bad guy, the German Tiger. Unfortunately, is not as bad in this game as it was in real life. But it is still one of my favorites. I spent the first 2 months in this game solely going up this line so that I could get my very own Tiger tank. As a matter of fact, the first couple of months I played this game, the only tanks I had in any nation other than German were the Tier 1, here's your freebie tanks. Feel like taking my Tiger for a walk. If we're a top tier tank, this will be a good battle. If we're a bottom tier tank, you're going to see the shortcomings of the big slow Tiger. And if we're a middle tier tank, that's going to depend on who's got the top tier. If it's top tier tank destroyers versus me, I'll never even see them unless we have a good scout team. Oh, the styles on these tanks is absolutely awesome. The stock tank is just, painted gray metal, but you can purchase for 75,000 credits. I think it's 10 games worth of the appropriate camouflage for the setting that you're in. Hold on, guys. Huh? They went for a drive. Go back to bed. Go. All right, we are on a defensive mission. The enemy has to either try and kill us all or take possession of this base.
Penetration.
I can't believe he backed back up into gunnery that had already hit him.
We didn't penetrate their armor. That one bounced. We're immobilized. Bail out.
And that's what happens when Tier 9 tanks are on the battlefield. That RX-5R player. Let's see who he is. RX-5R is in a Tier 9 tank destroyer, the T-95. I stood no chance against his gun. Looks like Scorpion. Scorpion's only a Tier 8, but I am a bottom tier tank at Tier 7, so also a tank destroyer. And that guy right there in the 703, that's a fake tank. It was on paper only. You see it says 703-2, or double I. It's a twin-barreled tank gun, which was never off the drawing board. So, wasn't too bad though. I did some damage. I probably did more than the 310 it showed that I did, because one of those shots I fired was at a tank I couldn't see. Redfield, welcome aboard. Groucho, Russ, Slacker. Redfield's a friend of mine. We play pen and paper Dungeons and Dragons. Ooh, destroy 7 vehicles. I should be able to destroy 2 vehicles. And I just happen to have a Panther in my hands. With the comically long 88. Is that the 80? Yeah, that's the 88. No, that's the comically long 75. Because it pens better. Yeah, because the rate of fire on this is ridiculous. Now this gun is stronger, does less pen, stronger, but loads half as fast. So yeah, this is definitely the one I'm going to use. Redfield, Groucho, Russ, Slacker, we're all Fallout 4 companions. We all build... Well, I haven't seen any of Groucho's builds, so I'm not so sure he builds. But we all share in our love for building in Fallout. Oh, I do hate this map. At least I don't have any tier 9 tanks to worry about. Groucho, my building sucks, and you guys tune in to watch me do it. No excuses, sir.
One of our tracks is damaged.
So I only took 3 hits and 1 bounce while I was lagging. Could have been worse. Enemy armor is hit. Ah, that guy's brave. Dumb, but brave.
Penetration. Critical hit. Ricochet. Critical hit. We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't even scratch them. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Yeah, that was a short fight. Jude! Merry Christmas, Jude! Let's see how our artillery feels. At least he's still fighting. Can't see anything, but he'll shoot. Yeah, we know where they sort of are. Were. I bet they know where he is. Yep. When I was backing off that heavy tank, you might have seen me zoom in for what seems like a ridiculous shot. I was trying to aim for that spade-shaped front end. The lower part of it was about the only spot I was going to get a shot through. And unfortunately, that was not in the cards. Lower half of the team. But apparently, I won a free day of premium, so now I get better experience. Wonderful. Let's go back to my preferred tanks. It's one of the most modern British tanks in the game. Eventually became the Centurion. I can't decide what tank... Well, you know what? I should check to see how I did. That one I do not have bonus XP on. That one I do. You'll notice in this silhouette here, it says ×2. That's the first battle of the game gets double experience. Or first win of the day gets double experience. And it's getting another bonus of 50% because I have given this the Chuck Norris Christmas bonus. In case anybody was doubting. Chuck gives us all the bonus, but only for one tank. Actually, only for 3 tanks right now. And of course, all of my games are getting a slight bonus because I have a festive atmosphere in my garage, which means I've decorated my tree.
Let's go.
You'll notice that the T-34 that I just passed is marked as a Type T-34. That's a little different than a regular T-34. That's the Chinese T-34, which the gun is not quite as good as a standard T-34. The overall performance characteristics are just a little bit shy.
The radio man is bleeding. We can't rely on him.
Not a good time to get lagged.
We're immobilized. Track fixed. Let's roll.
Oh, I wonder how long I'm going to last with 2 hit points. On the plus side, having only 2 hit points left means the rest of the team is not gonna give me crap for leaving the forward position. Now, that wasn't unexpected, but would have been nice if I had gotten a shot off or two. T-34 is not complete garbage. It depends on how you play it, Slacker. I mean, most of these tanks are they're good at one role in-game. The T-34 is pretty good at angling its armor and hitting precise shots. You know what? I've got some boxes to open. I could possibly make my garage even more festive. Okay, go visit my snow maidens. We'll collect some new shards. And my Christmas tree. I can use a pendant at tier 5. So tier 5, Christmas tree, pendant. What do you mean I don't... Oh, I'm a few shards short. That's okay. I'll pick them up. What? That open field where we were just looking at the tank and then I went to the tree, that is my garage. It used to be an actual garage with a couple of tank bays in it and some cranes for doing repairs, and now it's this open field where it looks like you might have a maintenance area set up for your vehicle. Berlin, 1945. I don't think any Skoda T-24s were there at in the real world, but hey, there's probably a lot of tanks in this battle that weren't there. Like most of the French ones.
Time to roll out.
There are 3 artillery on both teams. If artillery works together, they can take apart.
They killed our driver. We're covering his position, but not very well.
An enemy tank. And now my driver's no longer dead. Because apparently putting a band-aid on it fixes dead people.
Target acquired. Enemy armor is damaged. Where'd they go?
Come on, T-34, retreat. Penetration. Ricochet. Critical hit. Enemy armor is destroyed. The radio man is down. We can only signal nearby vehicles. would really love to have a clue where this guy is. So I don't think the map marker is anywhere near accurate. As a matter of fact, I know it's not because those guys would have seen him already. They probably were 88s. None of that scenery is, of course, usable by anybody, but now that that leopard's been spotted far from here, I'm relatively certain that I am safe to complete the cap. So long as he doesn't get away and get down here and interrupt me, I just got a invader medal. And they got to kill him anyway. Hopefully I did better than at least half the team. I did get some spotting damage and some direct damage, so I think I did okay. There's my invader medal. And I got 6 more loot boxes. Yeah, top 5. I'll take that every day. Let's go open some presents. Break those down. Pendant. New Year. Now let me check. What are most of my decorations? Magic New Year, New Year, Magic New Year, New Year, Christmas, New Year. Yeah, let's go with New Year on that pendant. Now, all of these are useful things. These are blueprint fragments. This is a slot to add another vehicle into my holiday bonus going. This is a unique tank commander. And of course, a few other items for the gameplay. But the big reason that that was useful, I'm now getting 21.7% more gold per, or more treasure per match. Now, I only have, if I'm not mistaken, one tier 9 that I would put on that holiday ops. I don't have to use a tier 9 for that. Oh, I do have 4 of them. And look at that. 3 of them are German. Did I mention that I spent a lot of time in the German tech tree? Let's take the prototype A. Let's give it the holiday paint job. And I will show you guys. Now, this tank should outperform a lot of its opponents. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I mean, I've kitted it out with coated optics, which is a lesser version of the binoculars I showed you earlier. The gun rammer to make it shoot faster, and the vents to make the crew perform stronger. And you'll notice my crew have multiple skills. My commander here, he has concealment. Come on, give me the pop-up. Okay, his skills are limited, but he has concealment, and I'm working on getting Brothers in Arms. This is only 5%. When I earn enough experience to get all of them to 100%, taking Brothers in Arms makes all of their skills better. He can also take a skill. Let me, where is it? He can take Mentor, which gives all the crew a boost, but he can also take Jack of all trades. So if any crew member is injured or killed, he can take their place and you don't lose that skill from your tank. So it's a good skill to have if you've got the slots for it, but this crew has been working feverishly towards Brothers in Arms. And then I'll probably take Mentor as his next skill after Brothers in Arms, because Mentor gives the crew a bonus. Brothers in Arms gives everybody a bonus. This is going to hurt. We're likely going to see tier 10 tanks. I would be surprised if I was not seeing tier 10 tanks. It's not a great battlefield for this tank. There's a lot of hiding spaces, but not a lot of obstructions. So
let's go.
I am shocked. It is a tier 9 battle. Come on, where are you going? Where are you going?
They're knocked out.
Not into the water, not into the water. And yes, I just took a blind shot. I shouldn't have.
Ready to fire. Target lost. Ready to fire. Penetration. Let's find another target. Got him. Track hit. One of our tracks is damaged.
Yeah, everybody knows where I am. Everybody can see me, and I'm
Target acquired.
in a tank that's basically made of ammo racks.
This vehicle has had it.
Considering the way the rest of this fight is going, I think I did well. Let's see what's going on up on the hill. Yeah. You know, we've got 5 kills and I have 2 of them. What's that, 40% of the team's output in one tank?
Track hit. Lost a track.
Yeah, the Leopard is relatively fast. The Prototype A is relatively fast, has a decent hitting gun, but it's practically made of ammo racks. You'll notice the equipment that I took on it. I took 2 repair kits. There's... I can't think of another tank that I have 2 repair kits on. Not bad. 1,200 damage, 2 destroyed. 4 misses, though. Forgo the fire extinguisher, because although this tank can get set on fire, losing modules on this tank is more common than not. Let's open some more boxes. I got a level 4 kitchen. A level 4 decoration. absolute crap. And more crap. Alright. But luckily, because I know I don't need any of that, I can just break them down. Because to buy... Well, let me look at what's next. This is the tree skirt. So to buy the next item, which is the New Year tree skirt. No, let's... Level 5 is going to be over 1,000. 1,080. But I'll get the New Year tree skirt twice, and that'll finish off the Christmas tree, all to level 5. Once I get this to level 10, between whenever I finish that and New Year's Day, they'll give me more experience. Did my tank destroyer win? He did. Is this the... Yes, this is the toaster. This is the actual 88mm anti-aircraft gun mounted for easy transport and turned into a tank destroyer. In silhouette, it looks much like a toaster. Let's give it some camouflage. I don't see a lot of them in play anymore, so maybe taking it into the battlefield will surprise some people. Now, in the real world, that vehicle actually did exist, but was not used as an anti-tank gun primarily. It was an anti-aircraft gun. The metal sides would be dropped, so they'd lay out flat like a tabletop, and the gun could spin around. In-game, they do not allow for that. So you have to turn the tank to turn the gun more than a few degrees.
Move out. Enemy is hit.
It is a rather nice gun, though. T-34 incoming. Where's he at?
Enemy armor is hit. They're knocked out. Got him.
T-34 is worrisome. Come on back up. Of course not. Take care, Jude. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Hope you had some fun. That tank destroyer that just got killed by the artillery was another fake tank.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
And it says so right in its name. It was a WG something something something, parentheses FT. The Chinese market for this game was complaining that the Chinese tanks tech tree did not have tank destroyers. But that's because in the real world they never had them. So the developers, in order to appease their Chinese audience, quickly grabbed some Soviet tank destroyers, designated them with Chinese names, and, of course, made them overpowered. Middle-of-the-road run with 2 kills. I'll still take 2 kills any day of the week. Still a good tank. People don't expect to see it. This is an American tank destroyer. It was the T-67 had a name like most World War II tanks. I can't remember what it was. It might have been the Comet. But as you can see, it's an open-topped vehicle. And in a lot of World War II movies, because it's a little different looking than other American tanks, this was used as a stand-in for German tanks. And in most cases, they put a plywood top on it to make it look like it had a regular tank turret. In the real world, it was a high-velocity anti-tank gun on a very fast-moving light tank chassis. And although it was designated as a tank destroyer, its normal role was that of a scout in the real world. It doesn't have the required view range to be a good scout in game. Alright, enjoy your drive, be safe.
Let's go.
As you can see, it's not too bad on the acceleration uphill. Okay. One minor drawback to me jumping into battle real quick, I didn't notice that I had not purchased a pair of binoculars or a camo net for this.
Penetration.
Great time for lags, Spike.
Penetration.
Is he still there? Yep.
Enemy is hit. Penetration.
Now all I have left is premium ammo, basically. So, I might not turn a profit credits-wise on this game.
Enemy armor is damaged. Target acquired. Enemy armor is hit. Track hit. Penetration. We're immobilized. Enemy is hit. Where'd they go? Let's roll. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Alright, did you really just roll up and get shot in the face by the same guy who shot me and not use me as cover? Please. How did you manage to get whatever kills you got? You got 3 kills. Oh well. Good evening, Otto. Hope you're enjoying the repeated destruction of the Rob tanks. You're still... I've got several tier 9s. More than I thought I did. I have 4 of them. 3 of them are German. 1 heavy, 2 medium, and then I have a French light tank. But the high tier stuff, those guys are way better than me. So I don't play a lot up in that. I prefer to enjoy the game more than get my butt handed to me constantly. And they certainly do hand me my butt. By the way, that symbol right there, that's the clan symbol for Vets 1, or 1 Vets. So all of my tanks will have that on it. You can see here the Stug. Now this is a Stug 4. There's also a Stug 3. And they are based on the Panzer 3 or 4. And you can tell which one you're looking at if you don't have the name next to it by counting the road wheels. These are road wheels down here. This one has 8, divided by 2. Guess how many the Panzer 3 Stug have? That's right, there's 6 of them. So but the Stug is a pretty good tank destroyer. Stug 3 especially, because it fights at a lower tier. But the name comes from a typically large and clunky German word, which I'm going to butcher, which I believe is Sturmgeschütz, which basically means assault gun. It's an encounter battle. There'll be a base in the middle. Erlenberg's got a big, wide open map with a few hiding spots around the edges. It's good for a tank destroyer like me.
Let's get this show on the road.
One of the things I do have to say about this game is it is now a really beautiful game. You can see how the water affects the look of the tank, and as I come out of the water, the tank dries off, and then the drive through the snow and you start getting some snow tossed up on top of the vehicle. Last few years they've added a lot to the graphics package. No shot on him.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Are you coming out? You are. Hello. Come on, guys. Come out into the open a little bit. Everybody wants to play.
We didn't even scratch them. We didn't penetrate their armor.
Now, I got a few free shots on that Churchill because he can't see this far.
Enemy armor is hit. Critical hit.
But as you see,
Penetrate their armor.
this range is also not helping me.
Ricochet. We didn't even scratch them. Critical hit. Enemy armor is damaged. We're immobilized. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Now, that wasn't going to last long with our disintegrating team. Actually, what you heard was a plane being shot down somewhere. They have a lot of battlefield ambiance, especially at the beginning of the battle. But yeah, there's a couple of battlefields you'll see or hear Stukas overhead, and the Stuka was exceptionally powerful at the beginning of the war, and fairly useless by the end of the war. It's not to say that the Germans didn't need a effective dive bomber at the end of the war. It was just too slow to be effectively used. Let's take our little tank that could out. And I have no recollection of what the abbreviation means here. I know the PZ is Panzer. The SFL, it's probably a special purpose designation. As a matter of fact, Groucho, there were American generals during the Cold War who advocated mounting sirens on ground attack aircraft because they knew that most of the Soviet high command were World War II veterans, and it would have a psychological impact on them to hear those sirens again. It was effectively accurate artillery, the way the Germans used it, and you can't complain about pinpoint accuracy with an artillery shell. Towards the end of the war, they did shift from using the dive bombing capabilities and put gun pods under each wing and used it as a tank buster, very similar to the way we use the A-10 now. Well, I obviously hit that Hetzer once because he is shooting blind into the bush that I shot from behind. Pardon my cough. Well, you could say that again, Groucho. I wouldn't know what it sounds like because I don't read German. Let's see if I can get a kill before they get me.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration. We're done for. Everyone get out.
I'm pretty sure Steve Martin's had a joke about speaking French that almost killed a man. Well, one thing I do know about German is they tend to just add suffixes onto words to indicate more precisely what they're talking about. Needless to say, that is not a helpful tactic for the average person. Here is our OI experimental. This is the version before the one that we saw a few battles back. This thing is absolutely brutal. At 125 millimeters of frontal armor, most guns in its tier don't have the firepower to punch through it. But these two turrets are weak points, and the sides are fairly weak. But you'll notice that the armor-piercing ammo is rather low in my inventory. The high-explosive anti-tank, I have 50, and that's still not the most. I carry 60 of the regular HE. Doesn't do a lot of penetration, but when it does penetrate, it does up to 550 damage, which is usually enough to take out most medium and light tanks in no more than 2 hits. Cause damage to 25 vehicles? I think I can do that. I'm only 11 vehicles away. Probably not going to happen in one battle, but stranger things have happened. Ironically, my single best performance in a single game is in a tank that nobody likes. Where I think I got 10 kills in that match. And it was just absolute blind luck that the RNG gods were on my side.
Time to roll out.
Remember that great big KV-2? He looks kind of tiny compared to me.
vehicles. Truck hit. Periscope is damaged. Critical hit. Ready to fire. Bail out. This vehicle has had it.
And that's what happens when you run into a tank destroyer 2 tiers above you. And it's almost adding insult to injury that he used premium ammo to shoot me. He knew both the vehicles he was sneaking up on from behind were lower tier than him. Had plenty of time to switch to regular ammo. But he actually paid to play. So, oh well. Sometimes you're the big dog, and sometimes you're the runt. Let's see what I have. The ELC is not a bad little runaround French scout. But there is actually a tank I'm chasing in the tech tree. I need 612,000 for that. That's not what I'm after, though. I need 27,000 for that. What am I at? 8,000. Let's take her out for a spin. The ELC is very fast. Pretty good gun. Absolute crap for targeting. All right, Russ, you have a good night. I hope that you've had a very Merry Christmas. I appreciate you coming by tonight.
Time to roll out.
As a fast tank, my job is to scout. Now, you might have noticed a whole lot of shots whistling by overhead. That's what us scouts are supposed to be doing, is drawing fire. Because it draws out enemy vehicles.
Target acquired. We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't penetrate their armor. Enemy armor is hit. Where'd they go? Permission to engage. We've lost the track. Fire! Put it out quick! Storage is hit. We're lucky it didn't blow.
Yeah, that's what was bound to happen once I got hit by multiple effects. If you look over here at the paper doll, these are the modules that can be damaged. Engine, ammo rack, weapon, turret, fuel tank, radio, periscope, and tracks. If they knock the track off, you're immobilized. If they knock the engine out, you're also immobilized. If they damage the track, it's easier for them to knock it off with the next shot. If they damage the engine, you lose speed, but you're still moving. Ammo rack, as I explained earlier, affects the speed with which you load your gun. They can damage your gun, which will reduce its accuracy, or they can knock out your gun, which means you don't shoot until you fix it. You will fix a gun, an engine, or a track over time in-game. And you'll also fix your turret in-game. When your turret is damaged, it no longer turns. The round that I took was an HE round from the Gorilla, knocked my track off, and set me on fire. The little fire icon here shows that I took 119 damage from fire from that HE round. I had already taken one module damage. I fixed the track and started moving, but, and I can't scroll this, I had already taken some damage. Good morning, Seffi. You will see I assisted the team by letting them do 908 damage to things that I had spotted. That's what my driving back and forth here did for the team. And this match is practically over. Those that are still in the game are running for the hills. And once again, you can see those pesky premium rounds used by a, well, let's see, he was a Chaffee. Same tier as me, so he wasn't over-gunning it, but it'll be an interesting match to see the end of. To see the end of Battle Report. T-25 here is a top-tier tank destroyer. He just lost his ammo rack. Yeah, Pat. I got hit by the artillery, and the fire itself knocked out a couple of knocked out one module, which I believe was the ammo rack, because just before the Chaffee shot me, I heard the ammo rack notification. But the HE on its own, when it hit, took out my track. So I was going to be at a disadvantage no matter what there. And then I believe a couple of crew members were injured, as well as ending up getting killed. But that's okay. He took 700 damage thanks to me spotting him, and he took just 195. I know I did some damage to this guy. Yeah, I did 107 damage. I'm wondering why that's not showing up here. Oh, I still was doing okay. I think I've got one more fight in me, guys, so let's take it to a tank that I do relatively well in, which is going to be, for tonight, the Panzersuffel 1C. Oh no, the crew member is either injured or killed, quote unquote, in battle. But he's back in the tank at the end of the fight. It's not that realistic. It would be really, because of how easy it is to hurt or remove a crew member in a battle, it would be really unfair to spend the amount of time and, in some cases, money training a crew member to lose him that easily. The airfield map is actually pretty interesting, depending on which side we start on.
Let's go!
As you can see, this map has both a water feature at the south end and a impassable cliff on the north side, and several of these rocky mesas in the middle. That T1 Heavy should be on his way to that area right there, because that's where the other enemy team's heavies are going to go. And looky there. Show yourself again, leopard. Give me a shot.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is hit. Got him. Penetration. We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't even scratch them.
You might notice that I'm staying relatively far back from these bushes. Most of the maps are fairly accurate if they are real places like Berlin, Paris. There's one in Russia, Kharkova, I believe it's called. They were actual battlefields. They tweaked them a little bit for the purpose of game balance.
Target acquired. I don't see the target.
As I was saying, you might have noticed that I stay back from the bush. That's because
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
if you're more than 15 meters behind a bush, when you fire, you stay undetected.
Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is damaged. Target acquired. Target lost.
Of course, if you're more than 15 meters behind a bush, you can't see through it to spot enemy tanks.
Target acquired. Where did they go?
We do still have several high-powered tanks on this side of the map. Welcome back, Dalton. They have a little bit of imitation recoil built in, but you don't see it like you would expect to. It doesn't show the tank jumping. Instead, what you're getting is that green circle. That's your aiming reticle. It widens out and shrinks down slowly. That's to represent the recoil of the guns, Dalton. At this point, there's no way I'm going to get any more kills up here. I doubt that I'm going to have any more to do with this match as it is. That's hilarious. I can knock a tree down in this tank and barely skip a beat. I run over a sandbag and it slows me down to a crawl. The other thing about this spotting mechanic in-game, if you get within 50 meters of an enemy vehicle, they become visible. So regardless of how well concealed you are, if an enemy vehicle gets within 50 meters of you, you are visible. That's called proximity spotting. And when the enemy has decent artillery on their side, you'll often see light tanks rush up to where they know enemy tanks will be hiding and try and get in under a rock directly in front of them, someplace where they can't be shot without the enemy exposing themselves pretty clearly. I received a decal. Thank you. Must have done decent performance there. Well, top 10, not really stellar. But like on that map that we were just on, if that fast-moving tank had charged in up underneath the cliff face in front of me, for me to shoot at him, I'd either have to come and face down the cliff or drive around. But because he would have been so close, everybody on his team would have known where I was. Groucho, I think that situation requires a whole lot more explanation than I'm willing to ask for. So, as I said, I'm starting to get a little bit tired, and I actually pulled a full 3 hours tonight, so I'm gonna call myself ready for bed. I appreciate you guys stopping in and staying with me for the up to 3 hours. I hope you had a good time watching me lose multiple tanks. You guys have been really supportive. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the game. As it seems to have gotten a fair bit of traffic, this is probably going to be a regular addition to my streaming network. So look forward to a weeknight fight coming up in the future. Looks like New Year's is the next day that would normally be in my schedule for open night. But New Year's, come on guys, I know where you're all going to be. You're going to be tucked into bed at 8 p.m. hoping that the next year comes in and kicks the ass of 2020. Sorry, Dalton. You know, I have been doing this for 3 hours. My voice is my throat's starting to hurt. My voice is getting a little hoarse, and I hope you guys really did have a good time. It seems like I got a lot more traffic than I expected, so this is probably going to be a regular event as well. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and God willing and the creek don't rise, I'll see you tomorrow at my normal time for Fallout 4.